Hi, and welcome to the podcast. On this episode, we're going to be discussing animes that are good for beginners. Like, what are the top three animes that you could recommend to a beginner to get them to watch even more anime? Okay? I'm going to go to you for the first one. What is an anime that you would consider good for a beginner to get them introduced into the medium?
Oh, for a beginner. Okay, so are we thinking like beginner in 2023, like right now, or like any year where you're like, okay, a beginner, like thing. But like, if we're talking like right now, that might be a little difficult.
Why would that be difficult?
Because I would say like first ever anime, right? For a beginner is Naruto. But Naruto first like season, just Naruto, it's a hard like art style to watch. Like it's not even like it's not bad, but it's old. And I feel like a lot of people kind of don't take well to old anime, like older anime. I feel like Shippuden is where it starts looking like, yeah, this is good. This is good. But I feel like the first one was a hard art style. So if we're talking about 2023 people and they're like, I want to start anime, it'd be hard. But Naruto, I feel like Naruto has everything, right? It has the action, it has the love, it has the sadness, it has the happiness, friendship. It has, then there's episodes like fillers that just are like slice of life, right? And it also has some like horror aspects, I think. Like, I don't want to give it away if you're a beginner, but like, pain, like
Okay.
that was kind of like to me.
I can see that.
But yeah, but it has like portions that I feel like feed into every anime that somebody can enjoy. At least. Yeah.
Okay, so overall, without, I guess you're right, because in 2023, CGI and animation and all
Yeah.
things is up there. Because, if you've ever glanced at Demon Slayer, it is gorgeous as an anime. So you're saying if we're not focusing entirely on art style,
Yeah.
Naruto is the best anime to start with.
Absolutely.
And young Naruto from back in the day. Yes. Okay. Okay. For me, I think a good anime to start with, transitioning from like, what a lot of people watch is like superhero stuff.
Yeah.
I think My Hero Academia
Yeah.
is a really good starter. And the art style is modern. And it's more, it's very superhero-esque, but it's kids going to school with superpowers. That's it. So they get the slice of life aspect. You mentioned Naruto being an all-arounder. So they get the interaction with other people in like a everyday setting. Then you have the action, and then you have the world building of giant catastrophe stuff happening or
That's
whatever.
true.
So I think on these points, I think My Hero Academia is a really good starter for my one anime that I would start with. And I think we're on a 6th season right now. That means that if they get into it, they watch one character, or I guess a group of characters, grow from here's the beginning of the show to what they are right now and what's happening. And it's what was it, 12, 22, 24-ish episodes per season. So there's like not hundreds, but there's like 100 something episodes. If they want a long one to watch, I think My Hero Academia is a really solid one to begin with. What's your number 2?
I agree. So hear me out. This is a hard one. One Piece. I knew you were gonna do that face. I knew it. But it's so many episodes and they're still going. And even me personally am like, I've seen like a few episodes and have stopped. Okay. But I promise, when I was watching One Piece, the art The art was hard. That was
Yeah,
worse than the
definitely.
first season of anime.
That's one of the big threes from back in the day.
Yeah.
Their beginnings.
Hard. It's hard.
They're ugly.
But it's so good. It's such a good anime, and it wraps you into everyone, and you start falling in love with everyone. And I would say that the first anime, at least you don't even have to watch all if you're like, okay, this is just too long. This is too long. But at least get into it, because then you have that aspect of you like the big three. You really do. So you have how do I say it? But you have the opportunity to talk about something older, and you have that knowledge of like what anime used to look like back in the day, and you have that just under your belt. And I think that's the best thing, to just dive into it and touch the water a little bit, just so you have knowledge on it, and just so, because I think One Piece is so good. I think it's long but it's so good, and it's cute, it's sad, it's happy, it's fun. It brings everything. And again, like, I didn't watch all of it, so basically you're okay if you don't watch it. But I do think it's something that everyone should at least try to watch when they start anime. I do.
Okay. Before I move on to my number two, I'm going to preface all of this with I've been watching anime for almost 15 years.
Yeah.
Probably over 50, like a long time, an extremely long time. Since middle school, I started reading the manga, and then I started watching. I was watching the big three. I was watching Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, back in the day. And I got to episode 700 of One Piece. Okay, so I've seen a lot of it. And since this is a conversation on a good anime to start on, to get people into anime, I will agree. The friendships that they build are amazing. If you're into pirates, amazinger.
Yeah.
So I will agree. That is a good place to start with One Piece. Okay, good place to start. And again, if you're looking for a big long one that you don't have to binge, or you can binge if you want to, that there's One Piece is excellent. There are over 1,000 episodes out now. Good stuff. For my number two, which is, I'm actually going to put Naruto as my number two. And I've seen bad art, and like, I honestly don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah.
I loved watching Naruto when I was a kid. I read all the manga, actually. The manga. And I think it's excellent. Yeah. I think that's another one with tons of episodes. I think for my number three, I'm going to do a short one. But you get to watch this kid grow up, and I think it might put you in a niche of like watching young men fight the world, basically, like rescue the whole world, which there's so many of them like that now. And then you get into genres, and just so you know what shonen means, and stuff like that. So I think it's a good number two. I think it's a really good starter. And you really do want to start with young Naruto, because if you just start with Shippuden, you've missed out on the village building up and all the other things that are happening with no spoilers. No spoilers here. And I think you're right. Like, it's really good. Naruto is a good intro to anime. I think, and it's a really good jumping off point, because it introduces, in my opinion, some themes to get you started into, okay, so this is what to expect when I'm watching this kind of anime, and some of the phrases on there are so repeated, you might even pick up a little Japanese, so I think that being your introduction, it can get heavy, it can get funny, it can get relatable, all these things, but it's not always these things. It's a really good, okay, so it's not too heavy. I can actually watch this without being too sad. I can enjoy myself, have a laugh. I can understand where this character's coming from. I can wish I was one, because like back in the day when we were watching Naruto, we're all doing the hand signs. I'm not gonna do, just in case, this, and you wanted to be a ninja.
A ninja, absolutely.
And I always laugh because they're like, Rock Lee's the only ninja. It's just a bunch of wizards. So, like now that anime's mainstream, you won't get teased for running in the hallway with your hands behind your back.
That's true. You still might. But don't.
But it has such a cultural impact.
Yeah.
That I think it's a great place to start.
Yeah, I agree.
What about you?
I do. Here's the thing, right? The reason that I say it's the art is because when I first started watching, I'm gonna be like real honest. When I first started watching Naruto, I was like, oh, this is boring. I was like, how do people watch anime? Like, this is boring. And then I started falling in love with Naruto. And I got over. It has an old-esque feel to it. Like, it's not bad art, it's just old art. And I think that's a big thing for me was that I'm not a fan of old art. Like, there is an anime, I can't remember the name, you probably know it. It has, like, I believe the guy with the, like, white hair, and then a girl in a little red outfit, and they're always, like, flying, and I think he might be, like, part cat or something. I don't know what. Yes.
Inuyasha.
Yeah.
Okay. He's a dog.
Oh, close.
He's a dog.
Close. A house animal. But that I saw the anime. I started because I was like, so many people love this anime. No, it's too old for me. Like it's beautiful, but the art is too old. It's not bad art. It's just old art. And I think that's why I say like the first Naruto it's old and you gotta get through it. But third one, that one's a bit difficult for me, I think. But I will say it. I don't know how you're gonna feel about this, but I think Zenkyu no Terror should be on it. I do. He actually introduced that's like top anime for him, 10. And he introduced it to me, and I was like, I was nervous. He's like, it's got 11 episodes, and I was like, a short anime. I feel like you can't get good in a few episodes, right? Best anime I've ever watched, like above Naruto for me, okay? And I love Naruto. I think that it's serious. I think it's serious, but there's little pieces of like fun because and I just like I love it. Like there's just the art is beautiful. I think the art is gorgeous. But it's one of the animes that gets everything. Yeah. And you have every detail, you understand backstories. Like in 11 episodes, I'm like, you can't do all that. They did it. They not only did it, but they mastered it. And it was something that was like, do I need a second season? Absolutely not, because I know where this ends. But it's so beautiful that I want another season, And I think that, yes, it may be a little hard because it was heavy. It was extremely heavy. So if you're not that kind of person, then I wouldn't recommend that to you. But if you're okay with heavy, man, that anime, oh my god, I'm in love with that anime. I would recommend it to everyone. Yeah.
Okay. That's funny because I was considering that as my number 3.
Really?
Yes, I think Zenkyu no Terror is excellent. What you say, fun? I would say love. Like you're like, oh, it's fun. I think there's so much love in the anime. Yeah. I know it's from the animators, from the voice actors and actresses. The anime, a heavy one.
Yeah, definitely.
But definitely excellent opener. And that being said, short, if that's important, my third one is also 1 season, done. Quick, fast, in a hurry. And I'm going to put Parasite the Maxima on that. I'm going to put Parasite the Maxima on that. With yours being a story that has no, like, central character.
Mm-hmm.
It has 3 main characters and what happens and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Parasite the Maxim technically has 2, and they're Bond. And it's not as heavy as Enki no Terror. And I guess it kind of sucks to say. I feel like all mine are young men versus the world.
Yeah.
But it surprised me. There's world building, there's stakes, there's a deep character in there, and it's one I've shown my mom actually. And she's not even an avid anime watcher. I just think I recommend that to everyone, and she enjoyed it.
She enjoyed it.
She enjoyed it.
About to ask that.
She enjoyed it. Yes, I think Parasite the Maxim it's amazing. It's amazing. It is an excellent jumping point where it may not be as heavily emotional as some anime, but there's still the connection between the protagonist and his side characters, and then the way the villain is done. You know, you're not sure what's happening. You're not sure who's gonna win. And I think having that with a sense of mystery really pulls you into the story and makes you continue watching.
Yeah.
And then I love that it's only 1 season. There could be room to grow and maybe a movie or season 2 and all that, but there's not. There's only 1 season right now, I guess. It's only 1 season. It's quick watch. You don't need to watch 500 episodes or 1,000 episodes to really get into the story. 12 or 24, just 1 season. And there's twists, and it's excellent. I can rant and rave.
Yeah.
But I think going into even more detail would just be so spoilery.
Yeah.
There's just...
I maybe need to check it out. You told me about that one. I know it.
Parasite the Maxim is
that the one where I watched like 1 episode and was like confused, and you were like, you started in the middle of the
I don't even know.
Oh.
I don't even know. You have...
It was like so confusing, and I was like, I don't get it. And then he's like, what episode are you on? And I was like, oh, I'm on episode 6. So I didn't get it. I don't know. It might be. I might be wrong. But I do have a question, right? This is kind of, I mean, it's on the same topic, it's on the same brand, but it's a little bit opposite, right? So, like, going based off of what we think are the best, like, for beginners, what do you think, like, just one, what do you think is, like, not good for a beginner? Like,
I was just going to ask that.
Wow.
I was like, what is an anime you'd be like, do not recommend.
Absolutely
skip.
Not.
Like, wait till you're an avid watcher and understand what anime is like to even get into. Dang, you asked me first. The list is just like flying.
Well, maybe, okay, because he is avid, right? He is 15 years under his belt, okay? We literally went through a list from A through Z asking him what, he's like, yeah. And I was like, we're still in A's. Hold on. So I'll go because I know which one. I think people are going to completely disagree with me. But I think it's Hunter x Hunter. Absolutely. Because my thing is, I love Hunter x Hunter. One of my top favorite animes. However, Hisoka will definitely turn people off if they're beginners. When I first started getting into it, I'm like, how are people even liking this anime? Like, this is not okay. But I had other anime under my belt, so I gave it a chance. And I think the way he's so in your face, especially in today's age, which I love, don't get me wrong, I love, but I do think because of that, it would turn people off. And so I think that's more of a thing where you have to understand the kind of like bloodlust that people have within anime to understand where Hisoka's come from. I'm not saying understand him or agree with him, but it's more problematic. Yeah, it's definitely more of a thing of like, you can get over it the more that and the better you understand anime. Do I think it's for beginners? Absolutely not. But do I think you should watch it within your anime journey? Absolutely. So that's just me, on my point of view, right? So you had time out of your 5,000 animes.
So what I'm going to talk about is the one I would not recommend is the Fate series. Yes, I've never pushed her towards it. It's the one I complain about the paradox all the time. Fate Stay Night, Fate Zero, all the Fate FATE series and all those under. I would recommend a beginner skip. Okay, whereas hers has like a problematic, maybe trauma-induced person or whatever.
Yeah.
In hers, mine, it's a confusing watch history. I would also put Ghost in the Shell in that, where why do I have to do so much research before I watch your thing to understand what order, or if there even is an order to watch your thing? And Fate series, Ghost in the Shell. Haven't seen the live action movie. No comment on that. But I think a straightforward approach where it says season 1, season 2, where the season 2 could be a prequel, but it says season 2, so you might need to watch the season 1 to understand season 2, and that's fine. The Fate series is like a circle. Okay, you could watch the first release thing. There'll be things you don't understand because it's in the fifth thing that you won't understand unless you watch the first thing. Don't get me wrong. They're modern animes, so they are absolutely beautifully drawn. The art is amazing. The action is gripping. The storyline is like, wow. There's deception. There's history because it's an anime about summoning people from the past. It's the two. I watched Fate Stay Night and Fate Zero. Like, they were good in my opinion. Yeah. There's a paradox problem I can't get over. But they've released other things, and it's like, where does this fall? Where in the line do I watch this to understand this, or where in the line do I watch this to put this to understand? And I think that's too much work for a beginner.
I agree.
That could definitely push somebody like, oh no,
it's too much. Yeah.
I'm not interested. This is too much. I don't understand. Or if they do watch an episode, of what's happening? I'm confused. Mind blown. Yeah. And that can easily push somebody off that anime specifically, but off of anime completely. Same problem when I tried to watch Ghost in the Shell. Because I was like, I'm going to watch the animes, the movies, and then I'm going to watch the live action movie and just be done with the series. I couldn't even start because I went to the comments where all the episodes are listed for the first season, and somebody had an order of things for you to consume before you consumed that first season. And I was like,
too much.
No. Why am I going off site or off to understand? So can't recommend it because I have run into that problem. Avid anime watcher here, I have given up on anime prematurely because it was confusing. Not because the watch history was confusing. I'm going to say it. It's actually my number one, Steins Gate. After like the first 2 episodes, and I was like, I am confused.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
confused. And yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I have seen it maybe 4 times right now. Okay. And that first time, I had a rule where if 3 episodes passes and it doesn't grip me, I quit. And I quit it. Then I went back and I just gandered. I went past episodes and it became my number 1 anime. Which is insane. But I think though, like, you really gotta consider your audience.
Yeah.
Okay. And with Demon Slayer right now, like it's season movie, and that's fine. That's fine. Because it's in order. You go to, and then they'll be like, "There's a movie," and then there's a movie. That's fine. Why do I go to the season 1? And it's like, to understand the season 1, I need to go before. No, like, it's weird. It's okay to release a prequel after, but why is the episode, the season 1, so? I can't understand your season 1 if the prequel's not out yet. Like, why can't I?
I guess that's a good point. I guess, like, quickly, before, I just want to ask, because you brought up Steins Gate, and I know that's your favorite. I think I watched 1 episode, and I was like,
it's very...
But I guess my thing is, Steins Gate wasn't the first anime that you watched, right?
Mm-mm.
And so I guess that's a great point on you saying that confusing thing shouldn't be like a beginner. So you wouldn't recommend Steins Gate as the first one either?
So here's another thing. So I think anime is vast. Genres and interests and everything. Anime is vast. And with that, you can bring in your own interest from non-anime things, and that can get you into an anime.
That's true.
Because Steins Gate, no spoilers, is about time travel. I'm fascinated by time travel. Time travel, vampires, those two things get me in the door. There's nothing else you need to say. I will consume. Oh God, we're not gonna talk about it. We're not gonna talk about it. But anime is so vast that you can come in with your own interest, and that might carry you through the anime.
Yeah.
Like Steins Gate, confusing to first two episodes. I was like, what's the banana for? Crazy. But I was like, I love this.
Yeah.
Time travel. And I think that's important. When you're steering your friends towards anime and you know them, what are they interested in? Point them in that direction.
Agreed.
Because with the whole book versus movie argument, what really people are always like, oh, the book's better. Because the book's better, you visualize it in your mind.
Yeah.
And there's certain things that CGI and real people just cannot do.
Yeah.
But animation can. And animation, cartoons, anime, all the other things that are drawn or animated on a computer can be done. So with that, you can get closer to what your imagination or a book would look like in the anime. So I think knowing what that person's interest is, and you can point them towards, hey, watch this anime. Because I never used to watch Slice of Life. I was the action guy. I was the time travel, the mystery guy. But then I watched an anime called Horimiya. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Horimya, I believe. Excellent anime. Maybe even a starter.
Ooh.
Honestly, it's beautiful. If you're a couple, I recommend it. I recommend it. Can be your first one. I recommend it. It's art's good. Very interesting. And I don't know what I'm saying. But so do you remember your list?
Yeah.
What's your list?
So Naruto. Oh wait, I forgot. Oh no, One Piece, and then Zenki no Terror.
Zenki no Terror, or Terror in Resonance. Resonance.
Resonance?
It's resonance. But it sounds better to say resonance. But it's Terror and Resonance in English. So those three, her recommendations. Mine, I'm making fun of you, but I forgot mine. LOL. We have Naruto, we have Parasite the Maxim, and we have. Did I forget my?
You did.
My first one.
My Hero Academia.
My Hero Academia. So My Academia, Naruto, and Parasite the Maxim. Those are my three, with a honorable mention of Horimiya. It sounds like I'm separating it. That's funny. Yeah. And then ones to avoid or to recommend to someone, or to begin because either a confusing storyline or a character that might trigger you. Yeah. So keep that in mind when you're recommending or being recommended to. Just, and if you're recommending to someone, consider their outside of anime interest that might make them latch onto an anime. Okay?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So anything else you want to add?
No, that's it. That was a great conversation. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed seeing how excited he gets. I love hearing him talk about anime. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. So that was great. I love everything that you shared. Thank you for that, man. It was nice.
Thank you. I like hearing one of my favorites on her list. Okay, guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Peace.